This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the afternoon show presented by ESPN. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez and Jay McLovin. How's it going, guys?
Good.
I'll tell you how it's going. So the Mariners, real quick, Mariners lost last night. So now Toronto is going to represent the AL and go against the Dodgers. Now, typically, I don't not dislike the Dodgers. I don't care about the Dodgers, care less. But Jonathan Mathis is associated with that team. Because Jonathan Mathis is so irritating to me and he's associated with that team, I am now forced to do something I thought I would never do. I'm going to have to be a Canadian supporter and go against the Dodgers. And I never thought I would say that, and I feel so bad. But yes, I'm going to be Team Canada, Team Toronto. Let's go.
Well, let's jump into that Major League Baseball. Toronto comeback win. It was down 3-1. I think it was the seventh inning, maybe. We was on the air and we was talking. The runners at third and second with one out, and Springer coming to bat. We both said, "Hey, man, with one out, you need to walk him and try to get a double play." They decided to pitch to him and 3-run homer, and then Toronto hung on to the lead from there, went 4-3 over Seattle, and go to the World Series. It's been a long time since they've been to the World Series. It should be interesting with this format. Toronto is the home team, so Dodgers have to travel there. Both teams will be well rested. I mean, because Toronto, I don't think they start on Friday, so they're going to have some rest and should be able to get their pitching rotation in order. Dodgers have had a lot of days off. I wonder if that could affect them. Do you guys think that having all those days off could affect the Dodgers? Chris?
I mean, there's always a chance it could some, but I mean, this isn't their first playoff series this season. They had to wait a little bit after their first playoff series with the Reds because they won the first two games at wild card. So then they had a few days off before the next one. So I think with them having that already, I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal having time off this time. Plus, it's not in a situation where one team is having time off and the other team isn't. The Dodgers are going to have a couple extra days, but it's not like they're going to have like a whole extra week than Toronto. Yeah. They're only going to have 2 or 3 more days than what 3-4 days than what Toronto has. So no, I don't expect it to be that big of an issue. I think it's going to be a good World Series. A lot of it's just going to come down to if the Toronto's pitching can slow down the bats of the Dodgers that have been hot as hell so far in the playoffs. If the Dodgers bats stay as hot as they've been the last 3 series, I don't see anybody beating them. But we've also seen teams get on a roll like that, and then their bats die off a little bit, and if the bats die off a little bit, Toronto will be right there with the chance.
But you got to think about what Toronto did. I mean, Toronto was down 2-0. And come back and won 4 of the next 5 games. So, I mean, they're playing good baseball too. I think that, and it's not easy to do, but I think they got to find a way to score first and try to get a couple run lead on the Dodgers in their games and put a little bit of pressure on the Dodgers.
You got to get that. You got to get to that bullpen. You got to get that bullpen by the 6th inning.
Yeah, I agree. And preferably have a lead. I think the Dodgers. The Dodgers.
If you don't have a lead, the game needs to keep the game close. But yeah, you'd like to have a lead. But if it's a 1-run game and you can get to their bullpen in the 6th inning, you have a chance. But if you let their starters go into the 8th inning, you're gonna have a hard time beating the Dodgers.
Yeah, I agree. Jay, your thoughts on the Dodgers having this layoff and can that make a difference? And what do you think Toronto needs to do to try to beat the Dodgers?
Yeah, If this is regular season, I might be a little worried, but this is playoff baseball. And these guys have been here before, especially the Dodgers. I mean, this is last year's World Series champion. So, I mean, they know, and I think Dave Roberts knows. They've all been here before. They all have their routines. They all know what they like to do. I like the extra rest. I think the rest is beneficial for them because you had Yamamoto who did the complete game. So, he definitely is looking for that rest. And then also gives them a chance to, if there's any lingering issues, give them lingering issues a little bit more time, that maybe not be on the injury report and things like that. So I think, you can always benefit from rest, especially after coming off a 162 game season. And then in the playoffs, who doesn't want a little bit of rest? So, no, I don't think it's going to affect them. The one thing about this damn Dodgers team is they are legit elite at pitching, and they are elite at hitting. So you really don't have a lot of room for error. Toronto, the key for this one for Toronto is the fact that they are going to, like you said, like they did the last game when they took out the Mariners. The second inning they had 2, the third inning they had 2, the fifth inning they got 1. So I mean they were already up 5-0 in the fifth. Now that's not going to be as easy to do against the Dodgers, but that's the kind of aggression they're going to have if they want to take on the Dodgers. The biggest thing for me, Tony, with this Toronto team, if they want a shot at that pitching, is they have got to do the hitter's pitch and don't do the pitcher's pitch. They've got to be patient, work the counts, and make these Dodgers starters throw a lot of pitches and don't give them anything easy. So Toronto, as much as they got to be aggressive, on the other side of my mouth, I also say they got to look for that right pitch.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna root for Toronto. I don't want the Dodgers to win it again. I mean, they won it I think 20, won it last year, and so looks like they're going to be the team of the 2000s and 20s right now, the way they're looking. So, but hopefully Toronto can take care of them. But I would assume the Dodgers are heavy favorites. I would assume.
Yeah, my thing is, I think Springer. What I like about Springer is he's got that championship pedigree to him. So I think that's going to be beneficial for the Dodgers, for the Toronto, not so much the Dodgers because I mean they're all World Series champs over there. The one thing about the Dodgers is Ohtani is playing so much better at this postseason than he did last postseason when they won.
No, he's not.
You don't think he is?
He had one
game. Wait, hold on.
Let me finish my statement. He's been terrible this postseason, except for one game.
Yep. He was like 1-21 going.
He was 1-21, other than that one game the other night where he had 3 home runs and pitched real good.
Well, that's what I meant. I meant he's come out that 3 home run game. Yeah.
He had one good game, but yeah, before that,
I don't remember having any good games last year, though. I thought last year he was completely flat all the way through.
Yeah, but he was terrible going up into that game. I mean, he was horrible to that game. And then, of course, he went crazy. That's true. But, yeah, he was horrible going into that game. Guys, let's switch it up and go to some NFL Monday Night Football. We had a couple games last night. Let's go into the first one. Detroit defeated Tampa Bay 24-9. They was all over Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's got a lot of injuries, and it showed. They was all over Baker. Baker didn't have a good night. Tampa Bay had trouble running the football too. Detroit had 164 yards rushing. When Detroit can rush the football effectively, they're going to be tough to beat, period. I mean, I don't care who they play. If they can rush the football, it's really going to open up the passing game. But Detroit won this pretty easy. Detroit looks like what I expect them to look like, but they haven't all season. But, it's a long season. So you guys' thoughts on Detroit and Tampa Bay, Jay?
Yeah, man, I mean, Detroit played a hell of a good game. Obviously, they were my defense last night as well as my kicker in fantasy. And as good as they played, they still let me down, and they let me down big time. Remember that one play where they were in the end zone, and if Detroit gets the ball, it would have been a touchdown, and if Tampa Bay gets the ball, it's a touchback. And I swear, it went through about 2 Detroit players' hands, Tony, and then it wound up ultimately in the Tampa Bay hand. That would have given me one defensive touchdown right there. And then the other one was when they got that interception, and I think he got all the way back to the 5-yard line before he would have got that touchdown as well. So there was like 2 plays. I could have had 2 touchdowns, and might have been able to take out Frankie, but just didn't happen. Detroit played a good game. Defensively, great game. Tampa Bay's defense couldn't stop the run. If they had Detroit's defense along with their defense to try to stop the run, it was just really bad to watch them try to defend the run. Jahmyr Gibbs, over 200 yards from scrimmage. I mean, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I watched him go up the middle for about 20. I saw him catch a ball out in the flat and go for about 30. I mean, the dude was just running and running and running and running, man, and they could not stop him to save their damn life. And that's just on the defensive side of the ball for Tampa. You know, Baker can only do so much, you know, but everybody on the damn team's injured. Now it looks like Mike Evans is done for this season, you know, which is okay because they still have Ibuka. I don't know when Godwin's coming back. If I'm them, honestly, I'm probably going to go hook up Tyler Lockett and bring him in and let him be on the team until one of the other guys can come back, just to give him a little bit of veteran, you know, presence in that receiving core. But man, it's rough. It's rough. But I don't even know when Bucky Irvin's coming back. So Tampa has a lot of things to figure out. Obviously, they're going to take a dip in the power rankings, but it's not over for them. But it's definitely going to be difficult, and which sucks because Baker's having such a good season this year.
Yeah, Chris, your thoughts on that game?
The Lions defensive coordinator needs a hell of a lot of credit because the Lions was playing with all backups in the secondary. The cornerbacks was all backups. All their starters was hurt. They were playing, and not only were they backups, most of them was rookies, and you couldn't tell it. That their defense played real well. Their offense played good as well. But I thought this might be a close game because of all the injuries that the Lions had on their defense. I thought this might be a little bit closer game, but for the Lions defense to only give up 9 points in this game with as many backups as they had playing is really impressive. Tampa Bay, they've had a lot of injuries, but they really didn't have no more injuries this game going into this game as they have earlier. Evans has missed most of the season. It's Ibuka was a little banged up, but they just couldn't get nothing consistently going offensively to sustain drives. And when they did get something going in the red zone, they couldn't convert anything. And to beat a team like the Lions, you're not going to be able to beat the Lions just kicking field goals. Most good teams you're not going to beat just kicking field goals, but this Lions team with their the offensive power they have, Jahmyr Gibbs was running wild. You had St. Brown. They have so many different weapons that you're going to have to score some points. But I thought the Lions were impressive. Tampa's a good team. I wouldn't put them up there on the level as the Lions. I think the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are a little better than Tampa right now, and the Rams. But I would have Tampa in the top 5 in the NFC. But I think the Rams are a little bit better right now, and I think Detroit and Seattle are a little bit better.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't disagree. Guys, let's move on to the other game played last night, the late game. Seattle defeated Houston 27-19. And a big surprise for me in this game was that Seattle had 4 turnovers and still won the game. How often does that happen? How often does a team have 4 turnovers and still win the game? But Houston had a hard time doing a whole lot on offense. One of their touchdowns was a defensive touchdown. Houston's offense is still not playing well. I mean, really, Seattle kept Houston in the game within 8 points with them turnovers, or this game could have been a lot worse. Jay, your thoughts on Seattle and Houston?
Yeah, man, Houston. Whew, boy, I tell you what. Number one, they've got to get a running game. Running game is killing Houston. I don't know when Mixon is supposed to be back. This foot injury or whatever it is he's had, it seems like it's been going forever. And they're not putting him on the IR. So I keep thinking, okay, well, when is he coming back? When are they going to put him in the field? Still no sign of the guy. So I'd love to see them get him back in the fold, so that way we can get a run game, which hopefully will then open up the passing game. And then you got Nico Collins. Now it looks like he's going to be in concussion protocol. So Houston's hurting. We're hurting over here. Yeah. In Seattle, Sam Darnold and company. Charbonnet had a great game. Actually had a better game than Kenneth Walker, which was my other fantasy running back. So I was like, damn if I do it, I'm damned if I don't. And Jackson and Jigba, how do you say that guy's name? Yeah, that's the dude.
He's a real
That's
deal.
the dude. Yeah.
Chris, your thoughts?
This game showed me how bad the Texans really are right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the team stats and didn't look at the score, if you look at the team stats, you'd think the Texans might have won this game. I mean, Seattle had more turnovers. Seattle ran only one more play than what the Texans did. Had the ball about the same amount of time, ran the same amount of plays. Both of them sucked on third down. Like it was just, but Houston offensively looks terrible. They can't do nothing on the offensive side of the ball. Like run or pass. CJ Stroud does not look good. CJ Stroud is starting to get in that area of is he a bust? Because he had that one good year, and since then he hasn't looked the same. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it might piss some people off, but his body language is terrible. Everybody used to want to get on Aaron Rodgers or AJ or some of these other guys because for their body language on the field and on the sidelines. Watch CJ Stroud. He don't even look like he wants to be there. People get on Kyler Murray about that all the time. Look at CJ Stroud last night. If you watch that game and think about it, he looked like he didn't want to be there. Every time they showed him on the sideline, he was kind of over here moping. His body language was terrible. And when you're a leader of a team, you can't be like that. I thought his body language.
Yeah, something's going on where he's feeling defeated.
And your offensive line isn't great, but he was only sacked 2 times last night. So it wasn't like he was running for his life the whole night. And there were some open throws that he just flat out missed last night. He just flat out missed. And this isn't the first game I've seen him do that. He's regressed a little bit, and I don't know why he has. I think they got rid of the offense coordinator too soon. Yeah. But even before they got rid of him,
that's exactly where I'm going.
They got rid of him. Yeah. But even before they got rid of him last year, he was struggling last year. Yeah. And I know they lost Mixon at the running back, and you got rid of Tunsil on the offensive line. But like I said, he only got sacked 2 times last night, so we can't blame it all on the offensive line either. But yeah, Texans have some. They got a lot of things to figure out right now because they didn't look like a good football team at all last night. Seattle didn't play good games. I've watched Seattle all year, and they have looked like a good football team. They didn't look like a great football team last night. They made a lot of mistakes that you haven't seen the Seahawks make all year, and Houston wasn't able to capitalize on it. I mean, Houston should have won that game with all the way Seattle played. They really should have.
Yeah. 4 turnovers. Yeah. Have one other thing to NFL real quick, and this is not your normal source. This was talked about on McAfee's show. Chris, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but Trey Wingo reported that the Dallas Cowboys are looking to try to get Max Crosby. That they are made inquiries into trying to get Max Crosby. They do definitely have the capital. They would have trade capital. There's no doubt about that. So, Jay, your thoughts on that? Now, again, this came from Trey Wingo. This was on the Pat McAfee show earlier today, and I happened to catch it. Chris, I didn't know if you caught it or not, but I did. Your thoughts on that, Jay?
How old is Max? Is he still in his 20s or is he in the 30s now?
I'm going to guess between 28 and 30, but I really don't know.
Yeah, but he's still got – I would say
he's not old.
I mean, I like it. He's not old, is he?
Oh, I mean, he's not old. At least
okay.
He's still got 28. Still got good 5-6 years in him.
So probably the way I see it is, it's going to take. They're going to want both of our. They're going to want both of our first rounders that we got for Parsons. I already know that for a fact. That's probably what it's going to take. I don't know what kind of money they're going to have to give up this, that, or the other, or how much of that cap, or how much of the salary or whatever. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. I mean, we got like $31 million, I think, in cap space. I think we got enough cap space and we got enough draft capital to pull it off. And like you said, he doesn't really miss a lot of time. So it's not a guy that gets hurt a lot.
He don't miss time.
Yeah.
He plays every play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's really the biggest thing, right? He doesn't miss time because a lot of these damn players miss a lot of time that are great and everything. No, I'm good with it because we don't have a pass rush. Period. We have zero pass rush. So if you want to put him on there, I think we got Clowney now. So I guess Clowney will be there on every third play or whatever. But no, we need help. And Max Crosby would be a hell of a good one. That might take some of the pressure off of the cornerbacks, you know, because then hopefully Max Crosby can disrupt the passing game enough. So no, I'm all for it. And again, those first rounders that we got from Green Bay, let's be honest, Green Bay is a good team. It's not like you're going to get top echelon of the first round. You're probably going to be picking in the 20s.
Well, one of those Green Bay picks will be from another team, though, won't it?
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't look at that.
Were they both the same year or are they different years?
No, I think they were different. No, they were different years.
Okay.
They were different years. But you know, regardless, I think it's good. I think it's good. I think that's two first rounders. That's fair compensation, you know, for what we gave or what we got from Parsons. So and by doing that, now we were able to sign some other free agents that we probably would have lost. So I think Dallas would come out on the better end of it, you know, for that. So yeah, I'm good with that. I mean, we need a pass rush. Desperately need a pass rush.
Chris, your thoughts on that possibility?
Well, if Trey Wingo is saying it, I believe that there's been some kind of discussion because Trey Wingo has been around for a long time and he don't just go around. He's not one of them guys who just go around saying stuff. If he, unless there's some kind of truth to it. I've listened to Trey Wingo for a long time. What this tells me is there was some relationship problem between, I don't know if it was between Micah Parsons and Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, especially the front office, didn't like something about Mike. I don't know if it's how he was in the building. And if you think about it, a lot of the team, when you see a big trade like that, usually you see teammates come out and kind of be mad that a guy like that was traded from the team. You didn't hear that when Mark Parsons got traded, and then now you trade Parsons, and now you're talking about going to trade for a guy that is basically the same thing Parsons was. So to me, it's just showing that Parsons wasn't liked in that building. Now,
well, he was given a contract. He just didn't take it. You know what I'm saying? He was given. I mean, he was given a contract. Whether they took it or not, that was on them.
Was his agent ever given an offer?
Yeah. Don't you remember when his agent told Jerry that he could stick the contract up his ass?
But that's what I'm saying. They didn't want if they really wanted Parsons there, they would have negotiated with them and not talk to him for 3 months. There was more to that. I believe there was more to that. There was some kind of either Jerry didn't like Parsons or somebody didn't like Parsons. Something happened.
It was that whole. You're right about the agent because I don't think Jerry wanted to just kind of do the deal with Micah, and Micah then made the big thing about the agent, and then the agent started becoming a dick, and then a big thing came about it, right? So it is what it is. But the man was given a contract, and he was given above market value. Now he didn't take it. But he was given it.
We can go on to the next topic. I don't have nothing else to say about that topic because I wasn't allowed to finish what I was going to say because I guess what I had to say wasn't right. So let's just move on.
Oh,
okay, let's go on to the NBA, guys. NBA starts tonight with two big games. It's going to be on premieres back on NBC. Been away from NBC for many years. We start off with the Rockets and the Thunder at 7:30 p.m. Pre-game shows at 6:30, and then after the first game, we have the Warriors and the Lakers. You guys' thoughts on these first two games, and then I've got a little bit of questions for you for what maybe we expect this season. Chris, your thoughts?
Who was the first game?
Rockets and the Thunder.
Rockets and
Second.
Thunder. Okay. Yeah. I knew it was Thunder, but I couldn't remember who they were playing. I mean, I don't watch much NBA till later in the season. Once get closer to football, I'll keep track of the Pacers. I'll watch some of the Pacers games, but like other games, I don't watch much. Should be pretty good games tonight, though. It'd be interesting to see what Kevin Durant looks like with Houston. Houston starting starting one of the tallest lineups in NBA history tonight as well. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes. I mean, a lot of people like the Lakers. I'm not a big Lakers fan. I might check a little bit of that game out, but I probably won't check much of the games out tonight. Like I said, I really don't get into the NBA till a little bit later in the season. But I'll probably check the Pacers' first game out, which I think is Thursday, if I remember correct, against the Thunder.
Thursday. Yep.
We play the Thunder. Check that out. It's probably going to be a little bit different season for the Pacers this year. But no, I mean, it's cool that the NBA is back. It's just, to me, if I was the NBA, I think they should change when they start their season and end their season. I think it would be a little bit better for them than trying to compete with the NFL and college football and the World Series when you're opening up. I think you could open up in more of a dead time, but no, it should be a couple good games though tonight to kick it off.
Yeah, I'll watch a little bit of it. I'm interested to see the telecast, the announcers, the new pregame show, and they've got some different people, like you said in the pre-show. You know, when we was talking to that Michael Jordan, going to be on. Be interested to see what he sounds like and what he has to say. So I'm gonna check a little bit of it out. I don't watch a lot of NBA early on either, to be honest with you. I'll catch some late games every now and then I try to follow the Pacers. Jay, your thoughts?
Trying to be respectful. Chris got upset with me. I didn't want to accept him. So your guy, the one that got hurt. Why my brain went left on that one? You know what I'm talking about on the Pacers. Your boy that got hurt. What's his name?
Halliburton.
Thank you. My brain was going left on me. So Halliburton, is he supposed to be back for you guys at some point this year, or is he going to miss all of this year?
I think it's all year.
Okay. No, I was just curious. I didn't know if he was going to miss the whole year or if he was going to be out part of it. But okay, Rockets, man. You know we don't have Van Fleet tonight, so I'm curious to see how that's going to affect the leadership of the team. I'm not sure who's going to step into his spot. I don't know if it's going to be Reed Shepherd or maybe Amen Thompson. So I'm kind of curious to see who's going to run the point for those guys. And obviously, this is Durant's first game out. So it's going to be interesting. And then they got Finney Smith from the Lakers. I think he's going to come off the bench. So it's going to be interesting to see what this Rockets team is this year versus last year. Obviously, not having Jalen Green and company, but and not having Dylan Brooks and things like that. But I don't know. It's going to be good. Who the Rockets got tonight? I didn't even look at the schedule.
Rockets got Thunder.
Oh God! So we got to play the NBA champions of the opening game
At the Thunder.
Yeah, and this is going to be Durant versus his old team. If you're going to roll that storyline out, no, I still the Thunder is still the Thunder. They didn't change a damn thing, so I expect them to be the Thunder again. I just don't know what we have in this Rockets team, so I think probably the Thunder. Is it OKC or is it in Houston? OKC, yeah. I think OKC is probably going to be the strong favorites to get that one.
And then after that, we got the Warriors at the Lakers. No LeBron. But then I just seen somebody say, which I don't know, on ESPN, it said earlier that it's not a big deal. LeBron missing this. It almost made it sound like him missing a month is not a big deal. So if that's the case, why do you have LeBron on your team? If you're going to be fine without him, why would you pay him? How much is it? $52 million a year. It was, basically what the guy said on NBC, that one was supposed to be friends with LeBron. He said, "Oh, this is not LeBron's team no more. It's not a big deal that he's going to miss him up." Okay, why are we paying $52 million a year then?
I'll go real quick. I don't get that. I don't get that at all, man. I mean, this is supposed to be Bron. This is supposed to be the GOAT. No, Why would you? Why would you? I mean, is he wanting to fade out? Is that what Braun? Is this Braun's? Is that what's insinuated? Is Braun wanted it, or their other team is doing it?
No, but Braun's out because he's got that back problem.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm not sure why are they. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Why would you want to play him if he's hurt? I don't get that.
Yeah. It's just. I mean, the guy from ESPN just said that he don't think that's going to affect the Lakers him being out a month. That he don't think that it hurts the Lakers that much at all. And my point is, why pay LeBron $52 million a year if he's not that big a deal? I mean, I understand he's hurt. I mean, you can't do nothing about that. I'm just saying it just sounded weird that announcer made that analogy. Well, it's not a big deal LeBron being out for a month because it's not his team anymore, and it's not gonna hurt him that much. I mean, if LeBron still can play at a high level, how's it not going to hurt your team him not being there?
Right.
I think he just phrased it wrong. I think what he was trying to say was because it's going to affect him not having them, but it's not a big deal if he's going to be out this time of the year compared to later in the season. I think that's more of what he was trying to say. But no, but I get what you're saying because it's going to hurt you because that's 26 points a game that you're not getting. But if he's going to be out and hurt, this is the time for it to be at the beginning of the season. And in the long run, it could be a better thing for LeBron because that's less wear and tear on him being older, going toward the end of the season. But
okay. The other thing I had, guys, I was going to ask you. I thought we could pick very early picks. I mean, the first games are tonight. The big schedule tomorrow night. Your picks for the Eastern Conference Finals and your pick for the Western Conference Finals. Who do you think makes the finals? And a dark horse, one team that you think could be a surprise team that could get there that wouldn't be your normal pick. I'll give mine first. Eastern Conference, I'm going with the Knicks in Cleveland. And in the Western Conference, I'm going with the Thunder and the Nuggets. And my dark horse for the Eastern is Detroit. And for the West is Dallas. Is my dark horse. Chris?
East, I'm going Cleveland and the Indiana Pacers.
Okay.
And my dark horse would be the New York Knicks. And in the West, I like Oklahoma City Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks. And then I would probably have Denver as my dark horse.
Oh man, that's hard. Yeah, I like Cleveland. I think Cleveland's going to be good. I do like the Knicks. I think Cleveland and Knicks will probably be your top teams. I think that Milwaukee, because they got Miles. I brought that Miles turnover. I'm kind of curious to see how that works out with Giannis and whatnot. So I think they're gonna. I think that might be. I think that'd be my third team, and then I think that my dark horse would probably be Indiana. And I think it's just because you don't have Halliburton, so I'm curious to see how your team goes without having Halliburton there. So, but I think they are, like Chris said, I think they're good enough to make the playoffs. I do.
Yeah. I think I almost had Indiana as my dark horse, but I went with Detroit because they're the Halliburton being out. Well, I would have had if Halliburton was on the team, I would have had them in as a conference for the conference finals. But without him, I'm going to have a little leeway, but I think Mathurin's going to play well. So I think Mathurin's going to really help, and Indiana's going to be good. Now, I went ahead and did. If you guys want to do it, that's up to you. But for the NBA Finals, I did Cleveland against the Thunder, and Thunder winning it all. That's how I've got it. What about you, Chris? What do you think? You think Thunder does it again, or do you think somebody else?
I think it's going to be Cleveland and the Dallas Mavericks. I think Dallas is going to get a championship this year.
All right. And Jay?
No, that's actually pretty interesting. I definitely think, Golden State's always been there, man. Obviously, it's going to be okay. My top three teams, I think, are going to be OKC number 1. I would probably put Denver at 2. And I'm torn on between Golden State and Houston at 3. So I'll give them a tie. My dark horse for them, honestly, is the Lakers. I want to see what the Lakers do with that team. That being said, though, out of all that stuff, I still think because OKC hasn't lost anybody and everybody's good over there, that's a lot of continuity to have on a championship caliber team. And because things are a lot of things are still kind of murky, and I don't really see a whole lot of people really improving themselves greatly over the year or over this thing or over the off season. I think you're right. I think it's OKC and I think it's Cleveland. I think OKC gets it, and it's going to be the first repeat champion in probably a little bit of while now.
Yeah, I at one point I liked the Rockets, but after Van Fleet got hurt, I think that hurts them. I think that changed things because I did like them at one point. I think the Thunder wins it all. Again, they could have a little bit of a lapse, not as hungry. That happens. But talent-wise, I think they're as good as anybody. So, but like you said, it happens sometimes. It's not easy to repeat. So, but I like Cleveland. I like the roster. They're a little banged up right now, but it's early, and I think I think they'll get tougher than they were last year. I think that was a good experience. What happened to them last year? So I think that'll change their mentality. And so I expect Cleveland to do well, but I would be shocked if Detroit does really well because I do like Detroit a lot.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. So since we're talking basketball, so Dawn Staley, she had her interview with the Knicks last season, and she said she learned a lot, obviously, from that interview. I guess she has a pretty good relationship with Leon Rose and whatnot. Ultimately, she said she didn't get the interview. She says she still thinks it's going to be a while before a female actually gets the job of a head coach in the NBA. Do you guys see that happening? Do you think it's going to be a while?
I think it will be. I don't think it'll be in the next 5 years, if it ever happens. I mean, I think there's some qualified out there. It's just a hard. It'd be rough. I think it'd be rough for him to do it and be successful. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it will happen soon. If it does happen, I mean, I like you said, there might be some women qualified for it, but I don't see a lot of these owners want to do that to be the first one to do it and to see if it'll work. Because just because somebody's qualified doesn't mean it's going to work. I mean, we've seen that with all these coaches don't even make it a whole season sometimes. So I don't know. I just think it'll be a while before we see it.
Yeah, we got some good female assistant coaches. Pacers have got one that's really good. I've heard a lot of great things about her. But being an assistant is completely different than being a head coach. And could they get the respect of the players? I don't know. And people are going to say, well, it shouldn't be that way. Well, maybe it shouldn't, but I'm just saying humans are humans and things are that way.
I got a question for Gonzo. So Mia Hamm, obviously, was an assistant coach in the NBA under Popovich, right? She goes to the WNBA, gets head coach, obviously has great success, right? And wins titles. Do you think if there was a female coach in basketball that Mia Hamm could get the job done and transcend what she learned under Pop in the NBA?
Well, first it wasn't Mia Hamm.
But wasn't that her name, Mia Hamm, or what was her name?
Her name was Becky Hammond.
Becky Hammond. There you go. It was Hammond somewhere in there. Mia Hamm, Becky Hamm.
Honestly, I mean, she might do a good job, but honestly, I think the coach for the woman for the Indiana coach for the Indiana Pacers is just as good as coach as she is. I'm telling you, she's a real good coach. I just don't know if you like Dad said, if they'll be able to get the respect of it, right, of the whole team, right, and be able to keep it. Yeah, at first they might but then what if things are going good? But what if things start going bad? That's what worries me. Is she qualified? Yes, I think she's qualified. I think she knows basketball. I think she's a good coach. I really do. But I just don't know if it would work at that top level or not.
The players, I'm just being honest. And I'm not saying I don't want it to happen because I would love to see it happen because I'm not that way. But the players would turn quicker than they would on a man. Let's just be honest, in my opinion. And the fan base will turn quicker than they would on a man. That's just the way it is. I mean, is it right? No, I don't agree. I don't agree. I think if they're qualified, they should have an opportunity, and I think there's plenty of qualified women out there to be the coaches. I just don't think it's. I don't know if it'll ever happen. It might. Somebody finally might get the guts and try it. I just don't know if it'll work. I hope if somebody gets the opportunity, I hope they get a fair chance and it works out.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, guys, that's all I've got for today. I'm going to have to be stepping out anyway. So,
All right. No worries. Yeah, what's today? Today's Tuesday, Wednesday? Damn.
Tuesday. Yeah, tomorrow we'll do some top players in the NFL, and I'll have some hot seat questions. We'll maybe talk a little bit about maybe a little bit what we've seen from the Rockets and Thunder and the Warriors and Lakers, maybe a little bit. And
I do have one thing real quick. Just a thought that hit me last night. I'm a big sports fan. I watch a lot of sports. Dad knows that's about all I watch on TV. But I'm telling you what, it's getting hard to even watch a lot of these games anymore because of the commentary. When I grew up watching sports, you had your play-by-play and you had your analyst. And your analyst talked about things that like added to the play-by-play, talked about like things that was going on. Nowadays, all these analysts do is criticize every move that the coaches are making and act like they know more than the coach does. I don't watch a game for Dan Orlovsky or some of these other guys to try to prove that they know more about football than the coaches on the field. Commentary guy is supposed to be adding to the play-by-play, not just up there criticizing the whole time. And that's all I heard watching both football games basically last night was, and not just those games. You hear like on Sundays. That's like all you hear when you watch commentary anymore. I almost rather watch the games with no sound because that's not what the commentary is supposed to be. It's not if you think you can coach better, go coach. I don't need you to prove to me that you know more than what the coach does. And to me, the commentary is getting worse than what it used to be because now it's just all about criticizing people. They're taking the studio shows that they do during the week and having those conversations during the football games.
Yeah,
and that's not what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I agree. TJ Watt's not too bad. At least he gives a lot of information about the plays.
I like that. Like the information. I don't think Tom Brady's bad, but you get some of these guys that all they want to do is get up there and try to prove that they know more about football than the teams do, and that's not what the job's supposed to be.
No.
At least in my opinion.
Well, what you should do,
I agree.
Turn on your Sirius. They have all the games on there. Turn on your TV picture and just listen to the radio because the radio play-by-play will be completely different than TV.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Play-by-play. Except you'll get some homers sometime. If you're listening to the Dallas Cowboys, Dallas's feed, of course, those announcers are homers. Just like if you're listening to the Colts,
I can deal with the guy being a homer. That don't bother me. But it's just when the guy gets up there and like all I heard last night during that Seattle game was, "Oh, this offensive coordinator is just they don't know what they're doing. They're setting CJ Stroud up for failure before the snap or this guy's just terrible." Yeah. It's like that's not what your job is. Your job is to explain what's going on, but not to bury a coach. Like and that stuff just gets old after you hear it all the time.
Yeah. I totally get it. I think not that I'm a homer, but I do think that Romo was a good analyst guy. I think he's funny. I find that dude hilarious a lot of times.
I don't think Romo's bad, but some of these guys are getting out there and they just
I don't like Orlovsky though.
They're trying to audition. Some of these guys are trying to audition for a head coaching job while they're doing color commentary, and that's not the time to audition for a coaching position.
Yeah, I like Orlovsky in the studio. I'll be honest with you, I didn't pay much attention to his commentary. I'm just being honest with you. A lot of those commentary guys, I'm from a different age. I'm from from the Howard Cosell's and the Al Michaels and those guys. to me, it's hard to beat those guys, what they did. So,
Well, and that's why I said that it might just be me because, like, I know the younger generation might like it, but to me, I don't care for that. Like, you're supposed to add to the game, not be like trying to not tearing it down to prove that you want to be a head coach or you want to be a coordinator or I don't know. That's not the time. That's not the time to try to show
I agree.
the other teams what you know.
Everybody have a good day. I gotta check out, and we'll see. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, be good, brother. Hey, real quick. So, what do you think about Gruden? I think, you think Gruden's going to be back in the league within the next year or so?
I don't know. It'd be. I think it should be, but you never know. Once a guy gets blackballed like that, you never know what they'll do.
We were talking about the other show. I think he should be back in the league, bro. I mean, that guy is super smart. Like, he is wicked smart. You know, Saints, whatever. He'll figure it out, but he could do good for there's a couple of franchises that could use him, honestly.
Yep.
Well, all right, everybody. It's your boy Jay McLovin along with Gonzo. Make sure you give us a like and subscribe on Gonzo Sports Room on YouTube. Also, give us a subscribe on ESEN on YouTube. Until next time, man, we catch y'all on the flip. I hope everybody enjoys the basketball this week.